Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh. Welcome to Game 4 in a best of 5 series. Right now the score is 2 for Liquid Ret. He is the red Zerg up here in the top left corner of Tal'Darim Altar, and 1 win for the Ukrainian Protoss WhiteRa, the blue one, down here in the bottom right of Tal'Darim Altar. So we do have cross position, PVZ. I'm willing to bet any amount of money. Okay, maybe not any amount of money. I'm willing to bet any amount of fictional esports dollars that WhiteRa goes Forge Fast Expand again for the 4th map in a row. And yeah, he's already sending that probe. Where's the pylon going to go? Of course it will go out in front of the natural so he can do the wall off just like that and build his nexus just like that. So he is going to scout the left position first, it looks like. That is a good one to know. If your Zerg opponent is to your left here, that means that you can be a little bit sneakier and try to do some Blink Stalker action or something like that. I'm actually a little bit surprised WhiteRa hasn't done any Blink Stalkers yet, but then again, he hasn't really had a good scenario for him to be able to do that just yet either. He's going to check in here, not see any creep, and go ahead and bounce right back up. Cross spawn is going to be the next position he would scout most likely. Ret, on the other hand, will he try and save up 300 minerals and go for that hatch? Since WhiteRa hasn't found him yet, it looks like it is kind of a risk. We'll see if he goes for it or not. No, it looks like he is. He is going to risk it. Okay, he's going to go with his drone. I think that means that he knows that WhiteRa is at cross position, or else he would have found him already. So he is going to feel comfortable taking that hatch. Poor WhiteRa going to get here and see that the hatch is already dropped. Nothing he could have done about it. You have to check that closer spawn first just to be sure. And if he had checked cross position and then the close spawn, and Ret actually was there, then he would feel dumb as well. So pylon is going to get dropped for WhiteRa. Looks like cannons are going to be a possibility here. The forge is just about finished. All he has to do with this probe is keep skirting around long enough, keep away from that drone long enough to get back in there with 300 minerals and build a couple of cannons. Ret, of course, sees this pylon already getting finished. His spawning pool is not quite done yet, but he's going to send a lot of drones to be able to try and stop this. He needs to build at least 2 cannons and probably another pylon here if he wants to do some real damage. Oh no, no cannon dropped yet. He was actually denied. Drone's doing such a good job sticking it to this probe as long as it can. He can't let the hatchery finish either, or else his options for building cannons will be extremely limited. There goes one cannon. No, he gets denied again on the second cannon. There's the second cannon. Is he going to build another pylon? He's got the minerals, but he only has 1 HP left on this probe. Is he going to be able to drop another pylon or another cannon? He's got plenty of minerals. Is he going to live? Oh my god, he's so close to that drone! And now the hatchery has sprouted, so of course he's going to let the shields regenerate, come back into the main, scout around a little bit, look for any extractors. This cannon is getting chewed up, but this cannon actually has less surface area. Oh no, this cannon might not score a single kill. He does cancel at the very last possible second. He's going to let this one cancel as well. Oh my god, I was going to say finish, but then he canceled it. So net loss of about 37 plus 37, that's 74. 174 minerals spent on this pylon and those 2 canceled cannons. So was it worth it, WhiteRa? I have no idea. Hopefully you know the math better than I do, but that was basically just a lost venture right there. It did buy you a bunch of time back at home to get up some gateways and a cannon and a nexus, so that's good. Ret is already ahead on harvesters though, and if we look at units lost, actually no, let's look at what's it, army lost? Units lost, there it is. 74 resources lost for WhiteRa, but geez. That just did not go at all WhiteRa's way, but the forge is done. He can start those +1 weapon upgrades as soon as he harvests a little bit more gas and start ramping up into unit production. I am kind of surprised. I mean, I did bet you any amount of fictional esports dollars earlier that he would do this Forge Fast Expand, but I am a little surprised that he would do it, honestly, 4 games in a row. But Liquid Ret is taking a 3rd base very quickly. He lost that last game because he didn't take a 3rd base very quickly, so he's going back to his greedy ways. Let's see if it pays off for him. Maybe he could just build a mass Ling and Roach and be able to do something here against WhiteRa. Cybernetics Core is going to be done here soon. We'll see if he adds on more gateways after it finishes, or if he goes for that quick Stargate once again. Probe fleeing from the Zerglings. It sounds like this pylon is finally going to get destroyed, actually supply capping WhiteRa as well, and the very quick Stargate again. Alright, so he's going to get some Phoenixes out. Phoenixes are quite a handy tool to have in the Protoss arsenal, so not surprised by that very much at all. Destructible rocks being taken out here at the 3rd base for WhiteRa, while Ret is just about to have his 3rd base actually finish. way over here on the left side spawn. He is going to chew down his destructible rocks with these lings as well, but WhiteRa will get done with that a little bit faster. Probe on the run. Zergling speed has not been started yet for WhiteRa. In fact, he has not harvested any gas. There he goes, getting his first little bit of gas, but the probe does go down regardless. First Stargate finished, and he does already have, he does have 200 gas to be able to build a Phoenix, so he's going to go ahead and chrono boost that guy out. Warp Gate Tech is about a third of the way done, maybe a fourth of the way done. WhiteRa's economy seems to be doing just fine. 40 harvesters against 44. WhiteRa does have, or excuse me, Ret does have his third base fully operational now. WhiteRa already setting up here at this third base location, perhaps going to build a cannon or two after that pylon gets finished. Overlord gets taken out, not going to block Ret. He's well ahead on his Overlord count. Macro Hatch going up now, and that's going to put him up to 4. He's got a lair on the way. He's got more drones in production. He's got Zergling speed started now. Lots of macro tools and an evolution chamber coming up now. A little surprised still that he does not have a Roach Warren built yet. With all these hatches, he could build a crazy amount. He's got a very good economy so far to be able to support Mass Roach, but now that this Phoenix is already out, WhiteRa is going to be able to scout around. He sees that there's no third hatch here, but he is a little bit suspicious, so it looks like he is going to continue looking around some various other places. This probe actually coming in, he already saw the hatch? No, he just now sees the creep, so he is actually just discovering this now. Queen with the Overlord on the high ground, granting vision for that pylon, means that it will be taken out. A couple of Phoenixes going to be able to take out this Overlord. Queen still working on that pylon, doesn't want that to finish to allow some warp ins, but it does finish. Will WhiteRa actually warp anything in? I don't really think he's going to, but here comes the lift on the Queen anyway. So that pylon is totally viable now for warping in some stuff on the low ground. There he does actually. 3 Zealots being warped in. 4 Zealots, excuse me. Spore Crawler taking some shots at the Phoenixes, but no Phoenixes actually get killed. WhiteRa being very aggressive here. He's going to get a Spore Crawler kill here before all these links can come in and take care of business. Zergling speed just now finishes as the Spore Crawler goes down. Phoenixes going to go ahead and shoot away at these Overlords. Since there's no Spore Crawlers here anymore, they can get some free kills and make Ret waste some larva and resources. Look at that. Ret stays so far ahead of the supply cap once these Phoenixes come out because he is so worried about getting blocked later on. Of course, that's costing him a ton of minerals and larva in this early game to be able to build tons of Overlords like that. Infestation Pit coming up now. Did not see a Spire, so it looks like he went straight for the Infestation Pit. Lings up on the high ground mean that that is going to be the last warp in here for WhiteRa on the low ground. Is he going to score another Spore Crawler kill? It looks like he may. Not a whole lot else happening on the map right now. More gateways and a robotics facility being added on now for WhiteRa. Lings and drones and Spore Crawlers still building for Ret. More gas being added on with these 2 extractors. +1 range weapons coming up now, but he does not have roaches or hydralisks yet, so that's a little bit surprising. +1 weapons for WhiteRa just about to finish. We have a hydralisk den and a Spire both starting for Ret at the exact same time, so now he is starting to take advantage of that lair tech. Spire right there in the front of the natural hatchery. That's a little bit interesting of a spot. WhiteRa did get his third base up and running now. He's adding on tons of gateways to finish this entire wall off. Actually, it looked like there was a little bit of a hole there. He's going to have to plug that with a Zealot or a probe, perhaps. But a couple of cannons here defending as well. Lots of Phoenixes in the air for WhiteRa now. He's up to 7, and he is adding on just a ton of gateways now, ending that air unit production off of that 1 gateway. Stargate, excuse me. Chrono Boost on these Phoenixes gets them out so fast. The build time is only 35 seconds in-game time, which is very, very quick. Chrono Boost making that go even faster, gets those guys out super quick. Robotics Bay coming up now for WhiteRa. He's got a gateway here that hasn't even been flipped over yet. I don't even know if he realizes that yet, but the Bay is going to help quite a lot. These Phoenixes still cruising around looking for Overlords. They find another freebie here over on this left side base. That's another larva and 100 minerals that Ret is going to have to spend. Actually, he's at the supply cap now, so he had more Overlords than he actually needed before that one was killed. Spore Crawler, 2 Spore Crawlers and a Queen in range here. A little bit surprising. WhiteRa still diving in, trying to kill some drones, trading drones for Phoenixes. Maybe not the best trade ever, but he is going to score a lot of drone kills before being on his merry way. It looks like these Lings actually all managed to snake their way into the main. Some Zealots getting warped in now. He might want to pull these probes and start attacking with them just to trap the Lings in there. Otherwise, Ret is going to be very annoying with them. Only 3 Lings remain there, and I don't think he even really killed many. 19 workers killed for WhiteRa, only 2 killed for Ret. These Phoenixes are still hanging out just outside the main. Here they go. Now there's a Queen and a Spore Crawler here to try and defend against them, and he doesn't have that much energy left for Graviton Beams. It looks like Stalkers and Sentries did clean up those Lings. So WhiteRa still in a great position. He's ahead on supply. He's ahead on Harvesters, 80 to 76. He probably doesn't need to build any more probes this game, but he's going to continue to do it. Twilight Council coming up now to continue those upgrades beyond level 1 armor and weapons. Phoenixes jump right back in. Still taking some damage, down to only 5 Phoenixes now, but he has killed so many drones. Let's look at that count again. 22 workers killed against just 2. Sporecrawler is in range here of these Phoenixes. They need to try and back out, find a happy spot to shoot away at these Overlords freely, away from those Queens, away from those Sporecrawlers. WhiteRa doing some damage here. Again, not sure what just happened over there. Looks like Hydralisks did find these Tier 1 units of WhiteRa hanging out. Now Hydras are starting to come out in force. 8 more Hydras and 28 Lings coming out. Adrenal glands being researched, so he did get up to a hive during all that. +1 flyer attacks being started now, and just lots of upgrades rolling from those evolution chambers now. Lots of Hydras on the low ground here with 2-0 upgrades already. WhiteRa setting at 1-1, so the upgrade game is a competitive one. Let's see, there's a Colossus out now. Colossus, of course, does great against Hydralisks if you can keep him out of range of the Hydra shots. We've got Corruptors coming up now from that Spire, and +1 flyer attacks are going to be done here soon, so if this Colossus is by himself, it could be very dangerous. Let's see how many Zealots and Stalkers WhiteRa warps in to be able to support this. It looks like an Extractor was taken out once or twice. Some Speedlings now surrounding these Stalkers. All 3 of them should go down here. Yes, they do, but WhiteRa's moving with his main force. These Lings are going to run head first into them. The Colossus is going to take a few free swipes with Zealots all around his feet. It means that these Lings are not going to have an easy time escaping. Actually, WhiteRa cleans out all of them with a couple of nicely placed force fields. WhiteRa is down on supply, actually ahead on supply now with that last round of warpins. 8 Stalkers and a Colossus on the way now, +2 Protoss weapons on the way. We've got 1-1 melee attacks and armor on the way out of those 2 Evo chambers. Greater Spire being morphed, and more Corruptors and Lings coming out constantly here. Xel'Naga Tower gets cleared out there by WhiteRa. He's got a pretty big force now. Walking around here with this Protoss Death Ball. We have a ton of Hydralisks on the ground right now. About 20 or so, and 7 Corruptors in the air, so this is going to be very interesting engagement. Let's see how good of a surround Ret is going to be able to get on WhiteRa's retreating army. WhiteRa drops a couple of force fields and stop moves the Colossi to do some damage. It looks like Colossi are getting focused down quickly by the Corruptors, but there's so many Stalkers on the ground now that they both actually survive after chasing away those Corruptors. Another Nexus coming up now for WhiteRa, as well as another hatch here for Ret. Ret is going to be on 5 mining bases once that hatchery comes up, versus 4 mining bases here for WhiteRa. Another gateway being added, more cannons being dropped all around that new expansion. We have Warp Prism, Gravitic Drive. That's that speed upgrade for the Warp Prism being researched right now. He built a Warp Prism a while ago, but I'm not sure what actually happened with it. We have a ton of Hydralisks now. They are so slow off the creep. These Stalkers moving forward now. Corruptors trying to do their damage to the 3 Colossi. One goes down very quick. The Stalkers are not focusing the Corruptors, of course, because they have to take out these Hydralisks as quick as they can, because once those Hydras are down, the Stalkers will be free to take out the Corruptors. No big deal. He does have Blink available. Is he going to blink forward and try and score some free Corruptor kills? No, he blinks away, actually. I'm not sure what that was about. He could have scored a few more kills there. WhiteRa actually ahead by 20 supply, despite losing those 3 Colossi. That's really all he lost in that engagement. 2-1 upgrades for WhiteRa. We check out these Zerglings there at 1-1, and the Hydralisks should be at 2-1 as well. Sounded like another Overlord just ate it there. We got probes running around all over the map, pylons being dropped all over the map. It looks like a big wave of Lings actually attacking 2 bases at once. These cannons are not ready to be able to defend that, so the Nexus is getting very, very low. It looks like it will be taken out by the time those cannons get finished. The Nexus does go down. Zerglings getting into the main base. We have 1 Colossus and 1 Zealot versus a ton of Lings. I think this Colossus is basically doomed. Yes, it does go down, unfortunately, but the Zealot may be able to clean up the rest of these. 1 Ling survives. Oh, 1 Ling survives, but WhiteRa has been busy over at this base, taking out some Extractors, some drones. Let's look at the workers killed for both sides. 22 against 11. WhiteRa slightly ahead of the curve there, and ahead on supply overall. We have 5 Broodlords morphing now for WhiteRa, as well as 22 Lings, plus 3 ground weapons and 2 Colossi at a time being worked on by WhiteRa. He's going to move through the middle of the map with his Observer, try and kill all these creep tumors on the long, slow push up towards Red's half of the map. The last of these forces get taken out on that left side base, but the hatch did go down, so WhiteRa killing those those bases. He got another pylon warped in up here with 5 Zealots. Those Zealots are quite beefy now with those upgrades. Here come the Broodlords. How many Broodlords do we have? 10 Broodlords here, all spilling forth their broodlings at the same time. These Stalkers are going to have to be the heroes here. Giant surround on WhiteRa's forces. A Guardian Shield may be nice to block some of that Broodlord damage, but blink away leaves all the Zealots and the Sentries there to die, but all these Stalkers are so valuable. Very good blink away from there, and there's a Warp Prism that we could have seen flying around now. There is the top spawn being taken out by just 5 Zealots. They're doing such a good job up there, but Ret is going to continue to move with these many Broodlords. He's up to 13 now. Are the Zealots going to be able to take out the hatch? It doesn't look like it. Only 3 remain. 100 HP to go. 76 HP left on that hatch, but it does survive. Another huge round of Warpins. Oh my goodness, more Zealots coming in now to try and clean up all these Lings and kill that hatch. If he just sends 2 Zealots up there, he would be able to finish off that hatch. It looks like the Nexus was taken out down here. Oh yeah, we saw that earlier. The Nexus was taken out, so now Probe's returning over there, rebuilding the Nexus. All these Broodlords here from Ret. It's going to be very difficult for WhiteRa to be able to deal with this. Single WhiteRa here actually trying to do its damage, but there are too many Hydralisks on the low ground. Here comes the Death Ball from WhiteRa. He's got 3 Colossi and a lot of Blink Stalkers there with their 2-1 upgrades, soon to be at 3-1. Is WhiteRa going to try and hang on long enough for those to finish? He actually got a Dark Shrine up at some point as well, and these DTs are going to be trying to mow down these Hydralisks and Infestors and Lings while this Nexus takes a ton of damage. It looks like the hatch was finally picked off there by WhiteRa at the top spawn. WhiteRa just waiting to make his move. He does have 3-1 upgrades now. No, the Forge actually got taken out before 3-1 finish. Oh my goodness. So Broodlord's still just raining destruction upon everything in WhiteRa's natural. Here's the big blink forward. How many Broodlords do we have? 11 Broodlords remain. 10 Broodlords remain. Zerglings coming in now. All he has to do is back up against that wall of Colossi, and the Lings cannot get in there. Still so many Broodlords in existence here, and WhiteRa has taken out that top spawn location, but the Zealots up there don't really have anything to do now. He could actually send them back, but let's see. It looks like the DTs did a ton of damage to the ground forces there, and Overseer was morphed in and forced to be brought in there. And all these Broodlords, very few remaining now, only 5 remaining. Big blink forward. It looks like WhiteRa will have enough Stalkers to be able to end this. We got a couple of Lings loose inside the base, but all these Colossi just ripping things up. WhiteRa is actually ahead 20 supply at this point in the game. Another Broodlord goes down, and oh my goodness, WhiteRa is still alive, only losing 1 base in that encounter. I'm not sure if he even had a base over here, but it is not existing anymore if it was. The Warp Prism has been busy lifting units up onto this high ground from that 4th, 5th base, whichever it was, from Ret. Now all the Zealots being dropped in, paratroopered in. That Warp Prism just scoots right back on out of there. WhiteRa continuing to move now with this huge ball of Colossi and Stalkers in the middle of the map. All the Zealots already in Ret's base. He cannot deal with all of them. And the Warp Prism still being very annoying here. 2 DTs getting warped in while the Colossi and Stalkers continue to move through the middle of the map. There's no base on the left side anymore, so he's just continuing to move up without any problems. DTs killing off tons of stuff inside the main, and there is the GG from Liquid Ret. WhiteRa taking 2 games in a row now against Liquid Ret, who had a 2-game lead to start the series. The score is 2-2 now. That means that Game 5, which we're about to watch, will be for all the marbles, and the winner will move on into the semifinals of the ASUS ROG Invite from November 2011. Let's see if WhiteRa is going to be able to finish the comeback, or if Ret will put a stop to this madness in Game 5.